everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Rachel and I am so happy to have you here. Today I am in my kitchen because I am going to be reviewing the pan that everybody is talking about. I'm sure you know which one it is, but it is the Always pan from our place. So for the past year, I have been seeing this pan absolutely everywhere. I've seen it on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere I go. I see this pan and I see people talking about it. And I've seen so many raving reviews of this pan, but this pan costs $145. So I bought this pan and now I'm going to be sharing what I think of it after trying a number of different recipes that I make on a regular basis over the past week to let you know if I think that this pan is really worth the hype. So before I get started into the recipes, I do want to share a little bit more information about this pan. So this pan is a 10-inch diameter pan. It is 2.7 inches deep, so pretty deep for a non-stick pan. It is made with a non-toxic, non-stick coating, and it's free of a lot of materials that are potentially harmful that a lot of other popular non-stick pans are made from. So you know that it's 100% non-toxic. So this pan comes with its lid. It also comes with a beechwood spatula with an integrated spoon rest, which is this little knob here. It like fits right on the pan. And then it also comes with this little steamer basket that you can obviously take in and out of the pan. So the pan itself weighs about 3 pounds, which is actually lighter than I was expecting. When I took it out of the box, I was like, oh, like I was kind of surprised since it looks pretty hefty, but I really like that because as you're cooking, it's easier to have a lighter pan. This pan also comes in a variety of different colors. This is the color Steam, which is like this beige color, and I thought this color would just match any kitchen the easiest, and I just love this color. I also did want to note that I did purchase my pan during Black Friday and it cost only $95. That was the only time I've ever seen this pan on sale, but I'm sure that they'll run sales in the future. And it did take forever to get to me, but I knew it would. I did still want this color, even though I knew it would take a while to ship to me. Our place as a company also offers free shipping and free returns. So if you want to purchase it and try it for yourself, but you don't end up liking it, you can return it. So before jumping into the recipes, I do want to make a couple notes about this pan. So this pan, they do not recommend using over medium heat with this pan. And the reason being is because it is made of aluminum. So it does say that it conducts heat better. And it's also just not best for the non-stick coating if it's above medium heat. And this pan is also not oven safe. And I think that's because of the handle and the knob that is safe to the touch, but unfortunately, you can't put this in the oven. Also, something to note is you do not want to use metal utensils on this pan, just like any other non-stick pan, but just something to note because that will ruin the coating. So I'm going to try out 5 different recipes that I cook on a regular basis to test if this one pan really can replace 8 of my cookware in my kitchen and solve all my problems when it comes to cooking with just one pan.
The first thing I'm going to be making are chicken thighs. I'm going to be following one of my favorite recipes that I found on Pinterest, and this requires searing the chicken on both sides on high heat and then popping them in the oven to cook the rest of the way. Now I'm going to keep this pan on medium heat, so we'll see if it is hot enough to sear the chicken. I'm going to first coat the pan with avocado oil, and then I'm going to pop in my chicken thighs. So I followed the recipe to a T like I usually do. I put both sides of the chicken on the pan for 3 minutes each, and I really don't think this pan is getting hot enough to brown the meat. As you can see here, here's the first batch, and it doesn't look browned at all. I don't think it had the searing effect that it usually has with high heat. So here's the finished product. We just threw some frozen fries in our air fryer for the side of this meal. The chicken turned out delicious, although I am disappointed that it wasn't seared. The pan just really did not get hot enough to create a good sear on the meat. Next up, we're making pancakes. This is the one that I'm using. I got this one from Trader Joe's. I lightly coated the pan with nonstick spray since that's what the instructions directed me to do, and we'll see if these pancakes flip easily. So you know the first one always turns out a little weird, but I'm going to use this spatula to flip the pancake. This pan is definitely non-stick. It is working really well. Oh, look at that flip. That was beautiful. For the second pancake, I'm not going to add any additional oil. I want to see if the pan is really nonstick, and will flip the second one as easily as the first one flipped. So I definitely made this one bigger, but as you can see, this one is equally as nonstick and it's super easy to flip in this pan. Next up, I am making fried instant ramen. So I am going to boil the noodles in this pan, and then I'm going to strain the noodles and fry them in the same pan. I'm also going to fry a couple eggs to make sure that they don't stick to the bottom of the pan in any way, since I think cooking eggs is one of the stickiest things you can make. So I have my ramen noodles boiling. Here is the brand that I love to use. It's a little bit more expensive than Top Ramen, but I think this is one of the best that you can get in terms of instant ramen. So I strained the noodles, but as you can see, the opening on this pot is very, very small. I wish it was a little bit bigger. It would have made straining the noodles a lot easier since the water just kind of trickled out. But anyways, now I'm going to add a little bit of avocado oil to the noodles, and I'm going to add some ramen seasoning and some red chili flakes and fry the noodles so that they get a little crispy. Last step is to fry a couple eggs to put on top. Look at that non-stick. This pan did a really amazing job cooking these eggs. Here is the final product. I just put some red chili flakes, a little bit of salt on the eggs, and then some green onions on top. And I am going to enjoy this. This pan did a really amazing job cooking this meal. I bought this giant bag of baby bok choy at the Korean grocery store, so I'm going to use my Always pan to test out the steaming function to see how much of this bok choy I can make in one go. So let's give it a try. So I added a little bit of water into this pan, and then I'm going to use the steamer basket that this pan came with as much bok choy as I can fit on it, because I know this will cook down. That's why I'm adding so much at once. See, look how much that cooked down. But yeah, this steamer function worked really well. I like it. I cooked a lot of bok choy at once, and it was really easy. The last thing I'm going to cook is kimchi fried rice. So I wanted to cook this meal because it is bigger. It is more than just 1 or 2 portions. And I want to see if this pan can fry up the rice and make it delicious as it usually is. First, I'm going to saute garlic, onion, peas, and carrots over medium heat until everything is tender. And then I'm going to add a bunch of kimchi. After that cooks down for a little bit, I'm going to add my 2 pounds of rice and all of my sauce. The last step is to fry a couple eggs to mix into the fried rice. I already know that this pan is going to do an amazing job with not allowing the eggs to stick, so it is perfect for this part of this recipe. So here is the final product. I am very happy with how this pan did with the fried rice. It did hold a lot of fried rice. I was able to make the same amount that I usually do in a Dutch oven. So I was very happy with how this pan performed.
All right, so after cooking those 5 meals, I do have some thoughts about this pan. So I have some complaints. When it comes to this pan, this handle is safe to the touch. It is not heat conductive. And the top part of this lid is not heat conductive, but it really bothers me that this handle is heat conductive. I feel like you naturally grab for this handle when you are trying to move your pan, even if you're just moving it from burner to burner, maybe if you want to take it off the heat. But it does get very hot, which I just found, why is this handle here then? I personally think not coating this part of the handle with this coating is a design flaw. But maybe that's just me. It just doesn't make sense for this to be heat conductive. Also, I recognize that this might not be a popular opinion, but I think the integrated spoon rest is a little overrated. It's not groundbreaking to me. And the reason being is I would always forget that I had this spoon rest on my pan. So I would just use my normal spoon rest. I had no issue doing that. I feel like it was less of a convenience and more of just kind of a cute feature. If they were to add any rest, I would love it if they created a way for this lid to rest on something, because that's the problem I really had. So when I would take off the lid, I would have nowhere to put it. But that's a common problem with all cookware. As for the non-stick aspect of this pan, as you saw when I was cooking each recipe, it worked absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It was super slick, super non-stick. It was an absolute breeze to get my food off of this pan. And the fact that it is non-toxic is super nice. It makes me feel better about cooking, knowing that I'm not putting anything in my food that I wouldn't want in there. So it was really nice knowing that I'm not doing anything dangerous by using this pan. I did want to note that with the non-stick function of this pan, the real test will be if the non-stick part of this pan lasts over time. And if it does, it really would help justify the high price tag of this pan, because so many non-stick pans do wear off over time. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to report in this video if that is the case with this one. I will try to report back after maybe 6 months or a year. So if you are interested in seeing if this pan does stay non-stick, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the update to see if it really does stay non-stick for a good amount of time. So the final verdict, this pan is absolutely gorgeous. It is so beautiful. Does anyone need this pan? I don't think so. So now I'm going to be sharing my final review using the criteria that I answer for every non-sponsored review that I complete. So I do like this pan. I think it is very beautiful and the non-stick was super effective. So now that I have this pan, I will absolutely continue to use it. There are some things that this pan does so perfect. So if I was cooking eggs, definitely use this pan. If I was cooking a pasta dish, I would reach for this pan. Now that I own it, there are a couple things that I will for sure be reaching for this pan for. I won't be reaching for this pan for everything I cook though. So I personally would not repurchase this pan for $145. I would consider gifting it to somebody for $95 because I do think this is a very special pan. I think it's absolutely beautiful and it does some jobs super well. But even to repurchase for myself, if something were to happen to this pan, even for $95, I don't think I would personally repurchase it because it's not something that I need. I can get the same effect pretty much with other pans that are at a much lower price point. So I would recommend this pan if you are a simple chef who mostly cooks for yourself or one other person and you mainly cook pasta dishes, maybe some meat and veggies and eggs on a regular basis. Now, if you are a fancier cook, even if you were cooking for just 1 or 2 people, I do think other pans work better. And the main reason for that is because this isn't oven safe. So in that case, I would reach for more of a Dutch oven or a cast iron skillet. But if you were kind of at the level where you just want it to be super convenient, super non-stick, super no fuss, then I do think this is a really good option. I would not recommend this pan if you are looking to cook for your family on a regular basis because I do think it just doesn't do all functions the best. And I think there are other pots and pans that do a better job that are at a better price point. I also just wouldn't recommend this pan if you were on a budget because nobody needs this pan. This is definitely a want, not a need. It didn't change my life, unfortunately. All right, so that concludes my thoughts on the Always pan. I really hope that you enjoyed this review and found it helpful. Let me know what I should review next. And if you enjoyed this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more unsponsored reviews. And I very much appreciate you watching this video and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.